So if you or someone around you has been feeling a series of emotional attack ranging from shock, anger, panic, guilt, pain, and eventually ending up feeling alone, empty, despair, and joyless, well, this combination of emotions is the experience of grief. And believe it or not, today around the world, a lot of us is actually currently going through this. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit more about this complex emotion and show you a crown opening exercise to get over grief and stay strong. I think a lot of us thought that the disastrous emotion that is being evoked in this pandemic crisis is fear, but if we look at it, what we are experiencing at a deeper level is actually grief. And grief is actually an emotion associated to loss, especially something that is so dear to us and precious to us in our life. And what are all of us losing through this pandemic crisis is a lot got to do with the lifestyle, and especially for Singapore, such an affluent country where we live in a comfort zone of everything that is being provided to us, convenience, security. Suddenly overnight we lose all these freedom, convenience, comfort zone, security, lifestyle. What we are going through is really grievance. We started off by feeling shock and perhaps even in denial of what is actually happening. And then slowly, eventually, it evolves into anger. We get really upset if someone coughs, or we see someone not wearing a mask. We see irresponsible behaviors of social gatherings, people queuing up in front of IKEA, on the day before our 30 days lockdown. So there's a lot of anger that starts to boil up within us. And then slowly, eventually, it emerge and come into despair, sadness, feeling so powerless about the entire situation, and then perhaps we start to feel a lot of self-guilt of not appreciating what we used to have in the past, taking everything for granted in our life, in this country. And as these emotions, like a roller coaster ride, start evolving and emerging, and eventually we ended up in the lowest vibration zone of it all. We start to feel really lonely, really despair, and we might feel detached, numb, and just absolutely joyless. There's little reasons for us to laugh or cry anymore, and that is the state of emotion that will bring us down to a complete standstill. So I first heard about this description that what we are all actually going through is grievance through this talk given by Dr. Greg Braden. I call him the spiritual scientist. And I was so blown away because it didn't come across my mind that what I was personally going through is a process of grieving. I could see how multiple emotions were just emerging out of me right from the beginning of this pandemic crisis until this moment, day 3 of our circuit breaker month. I was so glad to come across this speech given by him, because it is so important that we are able to identify with the emotion that we are experiencing. Because by identifying the emotion that we are experiencing, then we'll be able to mindfully acknowledge it and then deal with it, and release it out of our system. So, and that's why today's whole exercise and intention of Sit With Me is about staying strong and overcoming this grievance through this very simple exercise called crown opening. So we all have 12 meridian paths in our body, and the most critical or major one is actually called our governing meridian. It runs from the tip of our lips all the way across our forehead to the back of our spinal cord, and finishing up at our tailbone. So so this governing meridian, if the energy flow is blocked, we will feel absolutely so blocked and stiff and limited and bounded. So we want to constantly make sure that the energy flow along our governing meridian is smooth and easy. So today, this crown opening is touching upon part of this governing meridian path, which is located around our forehead. And the exercise goes this way. So just curl your 4 fingers together, align them in the middle of your forehead, and we're just going to stroll it open this way, okay? And one of the effect is also that this part of our brain is actually the prefrontal cortex, where we use our logical mind for decision making. So sometimes if our prefrontal cortex is really blocked or not functioning well, everything is driven by our amygdala, which is on top of our forehead. This is the culprit for all our anxiety, panic, anger, and all sorts of emotions. Okay, so by doing this crown opening exercise, we are actually allowing the energy to flow again, not only just on our governing meridian path, but also our prefrontal cortex. Enable our prefrontal cortex to help us be logical again, to be less emotional, and to be able to make wise choices in our life. All right, so you can just simply stroll it, but for a more powerful, deeper effect, I usually combine it with breathing. So again, for those who are familiar, we always breathe through the belly. So you can gently close your eyes when you are doing this exercise. Make sure that your fingers are fully aligned and there's no gap in between, fully aligned in the middle of your forehead. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just slowly open up. Take a deep breath in, open. Take a deep breath in, exhale and open. Take a deep breath in, exhale and open. So sometimes when we feel like crying even, this is a very effective exercise to actually soothe your heart. It's okay to cry, it is also an outlet. As we say, let the tears wash away the fear, and cry out loud. And when you are done with that channeling of energy, just do the crown opening to calm yourself down and to restore balance within yourself again. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's Sit With Me. It's all about staying strong to overcome grievance. If you find this clip beneficial, do share it with the people you care around you. So I'm having this video updated every single day, so do come back and check on it. And if you are feeling a lot of emotions and stress, or even restlessness as you are working from home, feel free to check out my online services. I am still providing meditation coaching and also emotion therapy virtually via Zoom and Skype. So take good care everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Keep fighting.